as a, really a pioneer of mixed martial arts and a former UFC champion, and you've gone through the ranks, and you've seen probably more fights than anyone that's graced this planet, whether you were in them or you commentating on them. Do you see a change in the UFC after being bought out by WME? You know how now you'll see like GSP, who hasn't fought in forever, he gets a title shot. You see a guy like CM Punk comes from WWE, but he's a huge draw, and now he's going to fight in the UFC. Does that bother you as a purist or a guy that's kind of paid his dues or anything like that? Are you cool with it?
I'm totally cool with it as long as it's not too much. CM Punk totally get it. Brock Lesnar, look what he did, 1.6 million pay-per-view buys, right?
Yeah.
He was the first one to break that barrier. So they knew it was happening, that would be gold. So having CM Punk, but I think he was separated too long from the WWE to get those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
It would have been better if he would have straight from the WWE, boom, like Brock Lesnar did, fight. And I can understand, with McGregor, with Bisping, people going, oh, yeah, it's not honest. Yoel Romero should have gotten that shot. Yeah, but I can understand this. I mean, because he's the champ. He did beat Anderson Silva. People go, yeah, no, but he didn't he beat him.
No,
If you look him up, he beat him.
Yeah,
That's it. And I thought actually he beat him as well.
Too.
So, and then Luke Rockhold, then Dan Henderson. And Dan Henderson, they were already complaining. Yeah. And I say, why would you be complaining? This is probably Dan's last fight. He deserves it to have a title shot. Bisping deserves it to have a title shot. Let's do it. Yeah, it sucks for Yoel Romero right now because you're going to have to wait. But, that's what you do as a fighter. I didn't have a long time title fights until I started getting vocal in Pride Fighting Championships. And in Pride, Pancrase. And in Pancrase, it was different. Like, in Pancrase, you win the title, and then your next two fights are non-titles. It's really weird. You just fight guys.
Why?
I have no clue why. Otherwise, I would be like a 13-time world champion.
13-time world champion. But your belt, was your belt still on the line?
No, the belt is not on the line, so it's no title fight. So it's really weird. I guess when he would win, then he is first one in line to challenge you. And then I would go, yeah, but give him the belt. They beat me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why would it, if I fight for a belt, it would always, for me, should be a title fight. Whether we're fighting for the belt or not, I want to win.
Always.
So if I would lose, I would rather give the belt to him. I say, well, you get it. I'll come back to get it.
Did you ever lose one of those fights?
No, I won.
So it doesn't really matter.
Didn't lose in my last 22.
So
I went out on top.
You know what I'm saying? So you're 22 world time champ. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it works, man. I don't care what they say. That's how it works.
You see, I should start changing that now. Put it underneath Bas Rutten.
Yeah, man, I'll be your PR guy. 22-time world champion Bas Rutten. That's how I'm going to introduce you from now on.
How funny is that? Yeah, that works.
It's weird, but with the UFC, as a purist, I understand how Yoel Romero and the rankings guys get upset. But I also, from the UFC standpoint, I get it because that's what sells. Like Yoel Romero versus Bisping, they're not going to get that many pay-per-view bites off that, but they will off George St. Pierre versus Michael Bisping.
Yeah, and now I want to know. For me, that's the question. Why did GSP come back? Did he come back? First of all, I think it's the money is McGregor. That's what I think. Oh, hey, there's big money to be made. Maybe his money starts going down a little bit. He thinks, I feel great, and let's just fight. That's a big fight. Or does he want to have two belts in two different weight classes as well? Because what if he beats Bisping? Is he going to fight Romero?
No way.
That would be that's what I'm thinking.
Not a chance.
Yeah, so then I think he maybe drops to 170 and goes for that title.
Yeah, and if Woodley Styles the belt, that's maybe a better matchup. Maybe, or they do the fight that people have been talking about for a while, Anderson Silva versus
that would be something. Yeah, and he already, in the beginning he said, I can make 155. You knew that he was going after McGregor.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because that's where the real money is.
Yeah,
can you imagine? That would be a big show if he fought McGregor.
Well, I could see and I'd love to get your take. Do you think Conor versus Floyd Mayweather is going to happen?
No.
You don't think it's going to happen?
I don't think that the UFC will allow it. They're on the contract.
Dana White came out on Conan saying it's going to happen.
When?
They think September.
And where? They fight with the UFC?
Vegas. Yeah, and the UFC be part of it. It's going to be Mayweather Promotions, Showtime, UFC, Conor McGregor Promotions. They're all in cahoots.
Wow, so Showtime is that means Mauro is going to do the commentating. That would be something. I got to do something. I want to be the commentator on that fight.
See that, and that's what when Rogan and I were talking about this, I go, we have to have a representative from the mixed martial arts community on that panel doing commentating because you just can't have boxing experts, because experts, they don't know Conor McGregor's background, his movement, the history, what goes into mixed martial arts. So it's going to be so biased towards boxing. We can't have that.
Yep.
You at least have to have one, if not two guys. Mauro and yourself would be perfect.
Yep.
And then have a pure boxer on there.
Yeah, and Mauro is great with that, because if somebody is not biased, it's Mauro. Mauro, and many times on the show, he's completely the opposite. The thoughts of him and I are opposite, but that makes for a good show. So Mauro will not hold punches. He will, literally, because it's going to be boxing.
Yeah.
You know, he will be good for that. Yeah, and I would love to sit in on that, man. McGregor, that would be something.
Well, it's the biggest fight in our history. Number-wise, it's going to be the biggest fight of all time. Name a bigger fight, boss.
I think 5 million pay-per-view buys.
I agree.
I truly see that happening.
I can see that.
Yeah, because for what I understand, they have over 4 million with him and Pac-Man.
Yes,
and
we'll beat that with
McGregor
Conor.
on top. Poof.
And then remember, you got even if you don't like McGregor and you're a mixed martial arts fan, just because you're part of this mixed martial arts family, you're going to buy that pay-per-view, whether you like Conor or not. So increase those views. And then same with Floyd. People hate Floyd Mayweather, but he represents boxing.
Yep.
So you can get those people. I think it's the biggest pay-per-view of all time.
It's going to be big money, man. And I love it. You know, and everybody's complaining about McGregor. All the fighters, you should kiss him.
I agree.
I mean, more people watching, that means more money for you once you go to the main event and get a pay-per-view.
Yes. But I think... I know a lot of people, and as the fight gets closer, once it does happen, I'll give an actual analyst on the fight. But I don't think it's that big of a mismatch as everyone's making it. I don't think Floyd Mayweather can knock him out anytime he wants. I don't think Floyd has the punching power or the fighting style to go in there and just murk Conor McGregor in 30 seconds.
No, that's not going to happen. I don't see that happen either. But I do see the difference in boxing is going to be big. You know, it's going to be hard for McGregor to. When he wins, it's going to be it needs to be by knockout. It needs to be in the early rounds, like let's say the first 5 rounds.
Yeah,
that's what I think. Because otherwise, it's going to be. He's been doing boxing in his diapers, Mayweather. I mean, he's born in a boxing family, the best defensive boxer on the planet. Mm-hmm. I mean, try to go. I mean, all the guys that he fought who could not knock him out, right? And now you got McGregor.
No, I agree. And I know. I get the pitch, and I get why people are like, this is a circus act, and this is some bullshit, and he has no business being there. But when people say that, they're thinking of true traditional boxers, and Mayweather grew up with his defense, which is the best of all time, of a guy throwing straight punches like a boxer. Conor McGregor's not going to fight like a boxer. He's not going to move like a boxer. He's not going to be traditional. He's going to go in and out. His stance is going to be different. The punches are going to come from different angles. And now I'm not saying that Conor's just going to go in there and beat the shit out of Floyd. That's not happening. But the time Floyd has kind of had hiccups in his career, a guy like Maidana, who didn't throw straight down the pipe. They were weird shots and kind of bullied him. He was the bigger guy. Conor's way bigger than Floyd, man. He's a lot bigger.
Taller, better reach. Yeah, he's got it. Plus, have to
harder
understand
hitter
as well. Who do you rather fight? Now you're going to have to fight next week. You're going to have to fight for some, I don't know why, but you're going to have to fight. You fight rather Fedor Emelianenko, or you fight a guy who pretty much nobody knows.
Yeah.
You fight Fedor, right?
All day.
Because if you fight a guy there's no way you can lose to that guy.
Yeah.
You'd rather lose to Fedor.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for McGregor, for Mayweather, he's going to get a lot of pressure in that fight. Because everybody will tell him, oh man, this is an easy fight. You got to knock him out. That's the only thing he's going to hear in his entire training camp. And I'm telling you, once you get up, all those voices that are talking, man, they put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and that might work against him.
I agree. And I think, the odds that came out, he's like a 12-1 favorite, which is huge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's huge. So he's 12-1 favorite. For Conor, for the mixed martial arts community, we got nothing to lose.
No,
I don't think Floyd's going to knock him out. I think Floyd wins in like a decision 12 rounds. Cool, that's your best ever. Yeah. Our guy doesn't even box. 12 rounds is the best ever.
Yeah.
And he made $100 million.
Yeah.
We're going Sizzler. We're good.
No, he's got no pressure going in. And you'll see it in many times this happens. When you have a main event, the last minute is a change. When the guy jumps in, there's no pressure for the guy, and then he beats him.
Seth Petrozzulli.
Yeah, against Kimbo.
Yeah, your boy Kimbo, that's right.
Man, that was crazy. Puff. Walked straight on the punch.
But that's also why a guy like Fedor, and there was other reasons, but his fight against Mitrione, they didn't know till like 2 or 3 hours before that Matt was going to pull out. The commission pulled him out. Matt wanted to fight because of his kidney stones.
Yeah.
But they asked Fedor, like, Chael will fight you, Tito will fight you. We have all these guys fighting. Fedor's like, no, I'm not taking a last-second fight. Like, I've gotten too far in my career. I'm not just going to fight anyone. I also, under the contract, I only get paid if it's Matt Mitrione. If you change the opponent,
Yeah.
it changes the payment.